What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Gianni Peccati Career Mode in EA UFC 4. And, of course, Gianni Peccati is coming off of a couple of really big wins. One against Ben Askren, one against a random guy named Okamoto or something like that. And now we have an offer to take on Vitor Diaz, who is 13-12, somehow ranked 14th in the world, which I believe is higher than Bubba. I keep on saying this, higher than Johnny. I don't know why I keep on saying Bubba. Anyway, he is ranked higher than Johnny somehow, unless Johnny is above 14th. We went ahead and declined because there's really no point in fighting somebody like that. So let's go ahead and see. Yeah, Gunnar Nelson, like I was going to say, like what's his ranking at? He's number 12 in the world. So I feel like that's a solid opponent. A difficult matchup because he's a pretty good striker, and he is obviously an expert on the ground. So it's a difficult matchup on paper. Whether or not it will be that will be the case in the actual fight remains to be seen. All I know is Gunny is a guy that I used to really rate, and I thought he had a lot of potential. Unfortunately, he hasn't really turned out to be as good as I thought, but, you know, it is what it is. Right now, he's in the way of the one and only Gianni Peccati. Touch the gloves is definitely mandatory with a guy like Gunnar Nelson, because you really can't, you know, you just can't really not like the guy. You can't dislike the guy, because it's hard to gauge what he's actually like. He doesn't disrespect anybody, so I feel like it's fair enough to touch his gloves, which is something that Johnny doesn't usually do unless he really does respect you. He lands with a spinning back fist. Obviously, the uppercuts are devastating for Johnny. I mean, they just keep on landing on everybody. Nobody blocks them, and Gunnar Nelson really needs to watch out for that, because that could be devastating for him. And really, like for Gunny, the big thing is if he's not gonna land something, because he does have that Conor McGregor stance. And let's be very clear. Like, oh, he gets caught by a big overhand. And he does get the takedown, too. He gets a single leg slam. Oh, wow, the game just kind of broke there. Thankfully, he didn't do anything with it. Oh, my goodness. Head kick knockout. And Gunnar Nelson is unconscious. I mean, Jesus. Holy shit. That was a hell of a knockout there from my main man, Gianni Peccati. So definitely a nice finish there. One of his best finishes so far. I mean, look at this. Like, Gunnar Nelson was going in for a body kick. It was actually a nice-looking body kick, too. Unfortunately for him, the kick just landed shin to chin, and he goes to sleeper in brutal fashion. I was saying, like, a lot of people say, oh, Gunnar Nelson copied Conor McGregor's stance, but that's just not true. You know, Gunnar Nelson was doing that before Conor McGregor was in the UFC, so it's like, you know, Gunnar Nelson, he didn't copy, that's just his stance, and, you know, unfortunately for him, he hasn't really been able to do a whole lot, but he's still one of those guys where, you know, he's going to put on a fun fight. So you know, he's definitely deserves respect. But Gianni Peccati had no respect for him in that cage, and he knocked him the fuck out. And there you go. We can also see, you know, we completed the contract, which was have a 3-fight win streak. We have achieved that, and Gianni Peccati is well on his way to getting up towards the top 10 at this point. I mean, it's really hard to deny him the opportunity. Once again, we have the offer to fight Vitor Diaz, who actually lost his last fight. He was 13-12, now he's 13-13. How this guy is in the top 15, I have no idea. I mean, you barely even see records like that in the shitty women divisions, let alone in I'm not talking about the good women divisions, you know, bantamweight, 115 or 125. I'm talking about, you know, the really shitty ones, like 135 and 145. So, you know, we're talking about really piss poor records, which just make no sense to be in the top 15 in the welterweight division. I mean, one of the toughest divisions in mixed martial arts. Is either the toughest or top 3 for sure. It's either that or lightweight. You can argue featherweight, but yeah, I would definitely say it's, you know, it's definitely one of the toughest ones. So that makes no sense for that to be his record. But let's see if in the cage he's actually good. Maybe he had most of those losses early on in his career. Maybe he had a huge turnaround. Maybe steroids have kind of given him a boost. He is Brazilian. I'm not saying all Brazilians are on steroids. I'm just saying that a lot of Brazilians are on steroids and have been in the past. So it's just kind of a trend that they have. So let's see if that's the case here. Oh! Look at his arm. It's like he's bowing to him. Oh, my fucking God, man. Gianni Peccati, with that overhand, he put him in the gentleman's pose. That's how bad he knocked him out. He made him bow the fuck down on the floor. I mean, Jesus Christ, Gianni Peccati. Look at this. Look. All right, first of all, his neck is just fucked. But I want to see how he's on the ground. That's what was hilarious to me. See if they show it. I don't think... There he goes. Look at him. His arm's behind his back. He's like he's bowing down. Oh, that was a nice one. That was a really nice one. Really nice one. Good job, UFC. I mean, you continue to have these just horrendous animations. They get funnier and funnier as time goes on. So it really is impressive what they're able to do in terms of being shit. So EA Sports continuing their amazing run as holy shit. If you see how hard it's raining outside, you might hear a huge bolt of lightning or something like that anytime soon. I have no idea, but based on how hard it's raining, that could be there. So if you hear it, it's either somebody's bombing me because they're afraid of Gianni Peccati going after that title, or it's just a lightning bolt, which is, either way, not good. Gianni Peccati, new contract. It's a 4-fight contract, 55 for 55. Gonna look at his bonus. We want to get a decent one now. We want something that's going to give him a lot of money. Those are the ones we've completed. Probably go with something moderate difficulty. I think that's a decent one. Winners focus on winning, so we just want to win. Go after some excellent wins. That's the important thing. Now the question is, who is the UFC going to give us next? There's going to be a tough opponent. We get a really tough one. Leon Edwards. That's a tough one right there. 7 in the world. 7 in the world, I think, is a little bit low for him. Like, realistically, this is a guy that's, a potential title contender. So, make no mistake about this. This is, by far, the toughest test of Gianni Peccati's career. I mean, it is not even close. So, yeah, this is going to be a really, really tough fight. And one that I do look forward to. I look forward to this. This is going to be a fun one. So, let's see. I'm definitely expect a war here. There's no, either Johnny gets starched or it's going to be a war. I don't see us knocking out Leon Edwards in the first round or in the first 20 seconds or something like that. That's just not something I expect. Leon Edwards, of course, is one of the best British fighters in the world at this point in time. I think that the disrespect this guy gets is actually pretty absurd. There's so many people in the top 3 or 4 in that division not in the top 3 or 4, that are in the top 10 that have avoided this man because he's one of those guys that doesn't really have any media attention. He doesn't have really a following in terms of fans, but he is extremely dangerous. So a lot of people avoid him. Gianni Peccati is not avoiding him. He rocks him really early. The axe kick is there too. Oh, he almost caught him with that. If he'd caught him with that, it probably would have been over. I got way too excited for something that didn't land. Axe kick again. Let's see if that's actually going to be something that damages him. Oh, he ducks under the spin kick, and he takes down Gianni Peccati. And he's actually got an underrated ground game, especially for somebody against a guy like Johnny, who clearly has a really, really piss-poor takedown defense. That could be a common theme that we see in this fight, is Johnny getting taken down and Leon Edwards kind of just manhandling him, because he is actually underrated on the ground. So, and you don't really see a lot of Brits that go in the UFC and do have a pretty good, not necessarily jiu-jitsu game, but a good just wrestling game, and he's actually decently good at it. So, yeah, I feel like he's gonna be a really interesting opponent up towards the top once people actually start fighting him in title contention. So we'll see what happens. All we know is that Gianni Peccati hits him with another overhand. The head kick almost lands. He blocks it with his shoulder, with his armpit, really. The axe kick is there once again. Oh, just missed with that one. But the biggest issue is that Johnny is getting really tired by throwing those. Can't just go balls to the wall with this shit. Have to be calculated. And Leon Edwards, oh, he went in for a takedown there again. Johnny thankfully didn't get taken down this time. Goes in for a side kick to the body. And Leon Edwards is doing some work in the clinch, landing some nice uppercuts. Johnny has to really watch out for that. Oh, that's going to really, really get Johnny tired. Needs to avoid that. No dumb shit, which is unfortunately, something I tend to do. And Leon Edwards is back on top. Can Johnny get up? That's going to be huge, as if he can get up without getting too tired. And, of course, doing a piss-poor job. Not blocking transitions either. It's really fundamental to block a transition before you try to move into a favorable position, because it really, really, it's a huge. They take away a huge portion of your stamina if you get blocked in a transition, and it really does help you out if you just block your opponent. So that's something that we really have to improve on moving forward, is because we just clearly can't stop a takedown. We need to, or Johnny definitely needs to work on being more patient and more intelligent in his selection of transitions on the ground, because that could definitely be the difference maker between him lasting a full 3 rounds and getting finished sometime late in the 3rd round. So it's gonna be an interesting second round here, because Leon Edwards was definitely looking good. I will say Johnny did a really good job in that first round. Yes, as you can see, he probably won the previous round. Question is, can we continue to do so? Because Leon Edwards is clearly the better fighter on the ground, and he definitely has a lot more stamina right now. Another round like that, and Gianni will be below half of his stamina, and that could be devastating, especially because we just continue to throw this spinning shit, and it really makes no sense because he's just clearly not stupid enough to fall for it. He's ducked under pretty much everything. Now he's doing some good work in the clinch, and he takes down Gianni Peccati, who really needs to stop a single takedown. I'm not saying has to stop every takedown, but he definitely needs to learn how to stop at least one. It's just like it's going to be a huge issue because even if you're dominating a fight on the feet, somebody can take you down. If somebody can take you down and you have no answer for it, then you're going to lose points, and that's something that Leon Edwards is doing very well right now. You could argue that round win was in his favor. I think the only thing that goes towards Gianni is the fact that he did a lot more damage than Leon did, so has to watch out. And that's a nice combo there from Gianni. And the game breaks. What the fuck is happening? Jesus Christ. Oh, okay. All of a sudden, Gianni's on the ground, so another takedown. Succeed. Wow, that was just pure stroke, my brain. Another successful takedown for Leon, who is able to just kind of hold Gianni there and not really let him do much. But Gianni goes to backside. Will he try to stand up, or will he go to back mount? He tried, which is probably not smart. Needs to get up. Needs to just get up and just see if he can do something on the feet, because right on the ground, it's not going well at all. Half of his stamina is gone, and we still have a round and a half left if he goes the distance. This is not looking good for Gianni. Really just needs to focus on jabbing and throwing right straights. Just very simple 1-2s. Oh, man, Leon Edwards already has a speed advantage as it is. With this stamina difference, it is going to be really difficult for Gianni to get through the end of this fight. I mean, it does not look good for him. I mean, one thing you have to say is that Gianni has a lot of power, so really one strike could do some damage to Leon. It's just a matter of can he actually do it, because that is easier said than done, my friends. As Leon goes in for another takedown, and he succeeds. Truly shocking there, huh? That's not good at all. Now we can do some work. He's going to the body, which is going to take away even more stamina from Gianni, who already is depleted as it is. This is kind of hard to watch right now, because like Gianni is clearly having a hard time, and it's like in the first round at least he had that power, but with such low stamina, it really is difficult. Went in for a strike, trying to land something behind the ear, try to get something cheese, but it just didn't work. Now he's looking for some ground and pound, but he just doesn't have the stamina to keep the pressure on a guy like Leon Edwards, who's not going to get tired in this kind of situation. And Gianni is once again on the bottom, trying to go to side control. He's relatively safe here, so realistically, and there he goes. He goes to back mount. I was going to say, just kind of survive in that position, and now he's going for the rear naked choke. Can he actually finish it? No way in hell. There's only 1 second left, and it's... Alright, that's it. Just let go, motherfucker. Somehow he was in his guard there. It makes no sense, as always. Animations are not the strong suit for EA Sports. We've known that for quite some time now. It's just always kind of surprising to see how shit their selection is for animations in certain contexts. But alright, it is what it is. Here we see a nice leg kick that landed, but I mean the elbow went in as well. So yeah, losing this fight on the ground. Try to keep the fight standing. Throwing a lot of strikes leaves you open to takedowns. Well, I mean, to be fair, everything leaves us open to takedowns because we're just completely incapable of stopping anything. But third and final round, I would definitely say that Leon Edwards is the favorite right now. I mean, there's no doubt. He's putting the pressure on Gianni with some nice jabs. And as a southpaw, he does have the advantage, in my opinion, in this type of matchup. And oh my God, Gianni gets stunned by a perfectly placed shot. Excellent work there from Leon Edwards, as Gianni Peccati right now is just essentially in survival mode, and he's looking for the finish with some devastating body shots on the ground. Luckily, he's in full guard, so he's not really able to get full power in those shots. But I mean, just look at his stamina; it's pretty much all the way up. So right now, Gianni just really needs to be calm, be patient, and do exactly that. Oh, I thought he stopped the transition. Unfortunately, he's not able to. And right now, Leon Edwards is actually being pretty intelligent because he's faking the transition, immediately letting go of it, making Gianni try to do something, kind of gassing himself out a little bit more, and then he lands some strikes. Now he's in half guard. He's trying to go to side control, it looks like. Either that or he's going to try to pass into full guard, into full mount. But he's going for a head and arm choke. Really interesting. That's an interesting choice. I don't think Leon's going to get it because, like, you can say a lot, but Gianni Peccati hasn't really been even close to being submitted so far in his career, so I think that's probably the wrong choice for Edwards. But if anything, it's gonna sap a little bit of energy from Gianni, which he already pretty much had none left. I just think that was probably a stupid choice. He should be going for the finish with strikes, because I feel like that's where Gianni is at his most vulnerable right now, because stamina wise he's pretty shot, so everything that lands on him is going to do double damage. And at least when it comes to submissions, because the mechanic is so broken, it's just, and not in a good way, like not in a offensive way, it's broken in defense, then there's really, I don't think there's any chance of Gianni getting submitted here. And yeah, so I think he definitely needs to go for the finish if he wants to go for the finish, because realistically he could probably just stay exactly where he is and win this decision hands down. So Gianni's up to his feet though. He has 1 minute and 30 seconds to knock out Leon Edwards, who is devastating him with that knee in the clinch. I mean, it's just, there's no pop to anything that Gianni is throwing at this point, because he has no power left. He doesn't have anything left to throw. So it's just, there's really not much he can do here. He's just going to take a beating. Side control, luckily he's able to go to half guard, because side control can be really, really devastating. He goes back to half guard. Can he get back up to his feet? He's able to stop that transition, and he goes back to full guard for no reason. Should have gone up, tried to get up there. Stops another one, and gets up. Has 23 seconds left. 20 seconds to get a knockout. The question is, do you go for broke and try to knock him out, or do you go to a decision and hope that somehow the judges have fucked over Leon Edwards? Because I do firmly believe that Leon won this fight. I would say round 1 was definitely in the hands of Gianni Peccati, but round 2, oh, they're showing the takedown, which is always a sign of who won. Takedown is there. That's like I mean, to be fair though, he did land a couple takedowns in that first round, but Gianni did a lot of damage in that first round. He was looking really solid, at least with his punching. So I mean, I think that was round 1 for Gianni. Round 2 was definitely for Leon Edwards, and round 3 was definitely for Leon Edwards as well. So I would expect probably I would say unanimous decision, 29-28. The game does give you an option here to continue a rematch. There's no way in hell I'm rematching. It's just not what I do. What happens, happens. And Leon Edwards gets the win. There you go. It was a close fight. It was a split decision. 29. It was yeah. So I mean, it was a really, really close fight. I mean, it was definitely the best fight we've had so far in terms of, a bit of a back and forth. Obviously, Gianni needs to learn from this. He needs to learn that you can't just go balls to the wall, throwing heavy shots, spinning against an opponent who is clearly too smart to be caught by that stuff. And it cost us. It really did cost us, but it's a learning experience. And yeah, it's the first loss in the career of Gianni Peccati, but one loss will not make him, will not take away any of the confidence, and it's just time for him to build back up into getting himself into that top 10. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and let me know in the comment section down below who you had winning this fight. What was your scorecard, and do you think that after seeing that, Gianni can fix himself and win the title? Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.